Hey everybody, Dave here. This week we have a very special episode because it features my wife.
Hi everybody, I'm Christine, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Dave Safe cough drop. What does that mean exactly? It means no refined sugar, no harmful ingredients, safe, natural, and very effective. Tag along, find out how we do it. All right, friends, we're going to squeeze out half a cup of raw unfiltered honey into a measuring cup and put it in our pot. I find removal of the honey is easier when I've run hot water through the measuring cup beforehand. Just make sure that you dry it off so you don't get any extra water into your pot. Next, we're going to squeeze the juice from half of a lemon into the pot as well. And that's it. That's all you need to do to prepare your ingredients. So I've placed my pot on the stove and I've set my flame to high. I want to bring my mixture to a boil, and what that looks like is a thick, fluffy foam. It's really important to continue to stir this as you're cooking so that your foam doesn't burn. It's going to make your drops taste terrible if you do. I want this foam to turn a dark amber color. That means it's beginning to caramelize and will reach the hard candy stage soon. I know that my mixture has reached the hard candy stage when I drip a drop into cold water and it immediately hardens and sinks to the bottom. Now I'm ready to remove my mixture from the heat and allow it to cool down just a little bit. I allow my mixture to cool down so that I can add in some essential oils without totally vaporizing them. I've selected my oils very carefully. I've chosen a brand that has a line of oils specifically for ingesting. For this batch of cough drops, I'm using about 5 to 6 drops of rosemary oil for its anti-inflammatory properties, and about 10 to 12 drops of peppermint oil for its cooling and cough-suppressing qualities. There are plenty of safe-to-ingest essential oils out there. I adjust my batches based on Dave's needs and flavor preferences, though if I were giving these to my kids, I would probably reduce the amount of some of the stronger oils. Now that I have thoroughly stirred in my essential oils, I'm going to pour my mixture into a parchment-lined pan. I need a pan that has handles so that I can move my mixture around to make it as even as possible. I do this for the consistency and thickness of my cough drops. It also makes them a little bit easier to cut. Once I've got the outline of the batch shaped, I'm going to remove the parchment paper from the pan so that I can continue to adjust the thickness. I need these to set just a little bit more so that I can cut them and my knife will come out clean. You can cut these to whatever size that you like. However, I just like them to have clean edges so that they wrap nicely. We usually wind up with sizes about 1 inch by 1 inch, but it's not always consistent. You can see here that I cut into one side of it a little bit too soon, as in it wasn't cool enough. My knife was sticking just a little bit, but that's okay. Once you make an impression into the cough drop with your knife, they break apart pretty easily. It's really important not to stack your cough drops on top of each other, as they will stick together and they're going to continue to harden as they cool. It helps to have your wax paper pre-cut, I would say about 30 squares, so that you can get to wrapping right away. And that's it, a big batch of all-natural homemade cough drops, wrapped with love by me, and now you. So there you have it, a 2-ingredient, super simple, Dave-approved cough drop. It's safe, it's effective, it's clean. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that video. I know that I find it fascinating. I think the most impressive thing about it is not necessarily the process or the hand wrapping or any of the things like that. It's the frequency with which she does this task. She doesn't do this just once a month or even once a week. She does this like every other day. I've had this persistent cough for months. And sometimes it keeps me up at night. And sometimes I can't string a sentence together. And I can't laugh without coughing. And you may even notice I'm struggling right now. But I've got a cough drop in. These are the only things that help, even if it's temporary. It's the only thing that helps. It gives me a little break from cough, which is nice. And she does it every other day. I go through like 20 of them a day probably. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg of the things that she does for me and for our family, really. Ever since day one, she has been my biggest advocate, my biggest cheerleader, and really my guardian angel. She's taken control of my diet and coordination with the doctors. She keeps track of my appointments. She makes sure that I'm on schedule for all my supplements and all the things that I'm supposed to be eating. And she stays on top of it. And without her, I don't know where I'd be. Or maybe I do know where I'd be. And I just wouldn't even want to think about it. At the very beginning, when everything had settled in, she came to me and basically said, "We're not going to let this thing just take you away." She said, "If I have to run through a brick wall or dive to the bottom of the sea or fly to outer space, then that's what I'm going to do." And she has. Every step of the way, she's just been the leader. I mean, it's one thing for me to be, the person harboring this disease, but it's a whole other thing for her to have to be there and feel helpless. And I know she's doing every single thing that she can to keep this thing from taking me. And so, honey, I know you're probably watching this, and I just want to say thank you. And I love you. And I think together, with our friends and our family, we do have a real shot. Of course, nobody knows how this thing is going to unfold. But no matter the outcome, there's no person on this planet that I would rather be going through this than with you. I love you.